Hello, I'm Daniela Mellen, and for 2021, I've been participating online in Ann Brooks' Textile Challenge, 52 Tags Handmade. Now, she's a textile artist in England, and she creates beautiful textile works of art that's very inspiring. For 2021, she created a series where every Friday she uploads videos with a theme or a prompt on how to create just a small little tag. And the tag's very doable. It can take as little as 20 minutes or as long as you'd like it to take. So we're at week 45, and I wanted to show you my process from start to finish. And I'll speed it up and edit it just so you don't spend all the time with me doing it. But I started this week's tag with the prompt fireworks by making a sketch, and then I started embroidering my tag, and I'll talk you through my process. So to start my tag, I'm just tracing the tag outline on a piece of denim, just so that I have the exact shape of the tag. For this tag, I'm going to put it in an embroidery hoop, and I don't usually do that for most of my tags. I just freehand stitch without them in the hoop. So with my white pencil, I made 3 little sketches that are barely visible of circles, just so I have a guide for each of the fireworks and how large I wanted to make them. And this was really fun because I got to use metallic embroidery floss. I don't tend to like working with metallic thread because it tends to snag very easily, but it does have its uses, and this I thought would be one of them. Now I wanted this tag to look like the sky on the 4th of July, so I chose red, white, and blue for my colors. So I started making my largest firework here with the blue thread, and I just used teeny little stitches in concentric circles, spacing them around and around. I varied my stitch length, making some longer than others, and I continued this around in concentric circles until I had something that resembled a firework. After I had a good deal of work done on this, and I wasn't completely finished with the blue firework, I knotted my thread because I wanted to introduce another color of thread, and this time not metallic. So I knotted off my thread on the back, and then I chose a lighter color thread. I thought it would offer a little contrast, but still pick up the blue from the metallic thread. So now, because the color of the light blue really stood out, I made shorter stitches, and again I continued all the way around in a concentric circle format to really emphasize the lines that were in there with the metallic thread, and just emphasizing the shape even further. When I was happy with that, I knotted that in place. So I repeated what I had done with the lighter blue, but this time I just used a red. It's a little more orangey than red, but it provides a nice contrast with the first color red, the metallic thread that I used. I continued with those concentric circles, and this one I made a little tighter because I wanted it to look like a different firework, reminiscent of the 4th of July. And finally, I used some gold metallic thread and made a slightly smaller firework in the right-hand corner. I used the same process that I did for the other 2 fireworks. I just made little stitches, kind of like seed stitches, except that I really worked on the placement of them. I wanted them to look like they were exploding out from the center. Once I have that done, I knotted my thread and took up some white thread, and this was just cotton pearl. It's much thinner than the 6-strand embroidery floss. And so from here, I made just little teeny stitches. I was really just trying to emphasize the yellow without being obvious that I had the white thread in there. So now I had white thread, and I wanted to just put a few little stars in the sky. I made very tiny stitches, extremely small, using that cotton pearl thread. And I just put them haphazardly in the sky, very randomly spaced. So there I have my tag complete. I removed it from the embroidery hoop and carefully cut around the edge. And it will be a raw edge with that very dark denim showing. From here, I just took some dark thread and I stitched it to my cardboard tag so it would match the others in my 52 tag set. So here's my completed tag. Now, I hope you enjoyed the process that I used to create my tags. They're completely inspired and kind of off the cuff, and that's the beauty of slow stitching, is you just do what inspires you, what your instinct is, and what feels good. Now, through the year, I've enjoyed looking at other people's tags, and I hope you post them just with the hashtag 52tagshandmade. And I wanted to send out a big thank you to Ann Brooks for such a great challenge. Thanks for joining me.